once again for another round of Formula One action. We're not expecting too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. The Hungaroring, it's like Monaco without the boats, although the boats today could come in very handy. 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right, and some very tricky corners to deal with. These rainy conditions out there aren't going to help either, so it's very likely we'll see a safety car or two during today's race. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Kamui Kobayashi lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Gasly, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Perez, the captain, Albon, Hauger, Bottas, Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. We drive full-length races in full simulation, the way F124 is meant to be played, from the driver's cockpit with a Fanatec force feedback wheel and pedal set. If you enjoy the racing here at Driving Immersion, consider giving us a like and subscribe, and let us know how you enjoyed the race. It gets our channel out to other race fans like you. In addition, you'll be notified when the next race is available. Our content is on Facebook in HD and on YouTube in Ultra HD.
I know you're frustrated to be this far back on the grid, but you've got to keep that under control. Keep a cool head and work your way through the field gradually as you go. It's not all going to be won or lost at the first corner.
Welcome to the Hungaroring, a difficult track made more difficult with rain.
So here is our pit strategy. We are going with a two-stop as projected by the crew, and we did change it a little bit. Instead of going 21 laps or 22 laps, we're going to go 28 laps on the first stint, 21 on the second one, and right around 50 if we have to stretch that, because it will stop raining, and we may be switching on to a set of the medium tires. And the second stint we can stretch another 6 or 7 laps until it turns dry, and that third set of mediums or intermediates we probably won't be using if you look at the weather forecast, and hopefully that's how it turns out. Here's our setup.
Feel free to freeze the video. Our setup is based on the highest downforce preset.
A lot of camber, riding pretty high there for the right height. And whoops, let's take a look at our fuel here, and we're going to go with 73 laps instead of the projected 75. So we're ready to go.
Our testing and practice showed that we should be using 103.45 kilograms of fuel. And just having a look around, you can see it's definitely raining. The track is wet, however, everyone is on intermediates, and so is the number 66 as we head down the main straight.
We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Turn 1, a very sharp right-hander, and a very tricky exit as we are fighting for grip into our first DRS zone. Left turn here into turn 2.
This is Sergio Perez in front of us. It looks like he got moved down to the Cash App Red Bull.
Turn 3 here, we accelerate out.
And that's why Tsunoda is at the Red Bull.
Turn 4 and turn 5 here to the right.
But there were no notifications in between races.
And a very sharp chicane.
And this is what you find.
Of 6 and 7.
I believe Ricardo also got retired.
Turn 8 here to the left.
So there's been some movement with the racing bulls.
Turn 9 here to the right, and we're going to be riding on the apron to the left as we exit out. Turn 10, a very slight left-hander. Turn 11 here to the right. Short straight. Going to turn 12, a very slow right-hander as it's very sharp. And again, we're going to be using as much of the apron here to the left as possible. Turn 13 here again to the left. Accelerate out. Turn 14, very slowly here as we hold the throttle until the very last moment after the apex, and then we accelerate out again onto the main straight. Here we are forming our spot on the grid box. And we're ready to go, starting in P17. Again, not a very good qualifying session for the number 66. So lights out. A lot of cars here into turn 1, and we're very slow.
Right now. Somebody's car, missing a piece of their car.
So the track's very wet right now. On lap 1, there is no dry track yet through the circuit, and we are all fighting for grip. It looks like everyone is on a set of intermediates instead of the full wets.
Got around the Haas.
Judging by the tire spray, it indicates that there's just not enough water on the track for the full wets.
It is very slippery.
However, having a look at the sky, you can see that there is a lot of water or rain coming down. Again, starting from P17, we are very slow on the track. And hopefully it's because we had full wings from the preset, so it's 50 front, 50 rear on the wings. And hopefully here in the rain, that will translate to a lot of grip. So let's see how we do against the other cars in front. Coming around to start lap 2, down the main straight. We're going to be able to outbrake Esteban Ocon.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
So coming in through turn 2, very slow, along with the other cars. Turn 4 again here to the left.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Yes, yes. Not a lot of room here on this track.
So again,
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
looks like it's raining very hard, but not a lot of water on the track. As we are able to drive underneath Lance Stroll in heavy braking. Turn 13. And again, very patiently waiting to accelerate out of turn 14. Lap 2 now complete. We are P12 from P17. So we're expecting a lot of progress here. It looks like we have a lot of grip in the rain. Got under Pierre Gasly into turn 1. And up ahead, Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. Gain of 5 and 6. So still a long trail of cars. Just trying to create a dry track around the track right now. And we are able to drive under Fernando Alonso.
That was a long way back.
So although it's very slippery, we are finding that we have a little bit more grip, perhaps, than some of the other cars. As we come in to close off lap 3, we are now P10.
Okay, you're in the top 10. 1.5 seconds.
That is Oscar Piastri in the McLaren just ahead. And the number 66 has a good look down. Into turn 5. Not enough though as we come in through 7 and 8.
Wow, they're just braking too early.
So a lot of grip coming in through turn 12 gets us underneath Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. And now we are P9. Coming around to close off lap 4. That is Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull just ahead. Again, the drivers are promoted without notice from race to race. And Yuki Tsunoda was actually promoted the previous race.
The rain, and that is why he qualified so poorly. But you'd have thought that the other teams would have known it was going to be rain.
Yes, in F122 and F123, Hungary is a very high downforce track, whether it's dry or it's wet. And in fact, when we start the weekend here in F124, we are met with the highest downforce preset as we are able to drive right underneath Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull again, coming into the chicane of 6 and 7. So right now in this early part of the race, the number 66 has a lot of grip in the braking. And there is a very slight dry line forming now on the track. We do expect that the rain will stop, as the forecast indicated. It should be partly sunny or sunny by the end of the race, but it will be raining at least for half of the race. Down the main straight, we are having a look underneath the Ferrari. And there you go, more evidence that we do have a range setup, while the others may have less of a range setup, so less downforce for them, as we are able to easily drive underneath a lot of these cars in front of us. And now that is the Mercedes. We've got a very good jump. Very wide there, nothing going on, and that is Lewis Hamilton giving us a race, coming into 5. And we're going to be able to outbrake him into 6 and 7. Looking back from the Ferrari, that is the number 66 moving up the field. So by the end of lap 6, we are P6.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
Mars Medina moving up the field, now having the fastest lap of the race so far. And here coming into turn 1, we are going to look underneath Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari and Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, and we get through. We are now P4, making handy work of this rain.
Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
That's not a lot.
And gap to the car in front, 5.5 seconds.
So it may seem like the rain is going to be ending earlier than the forecast, and we will be making sure to change our pit strategy as the laps continue here. So at least for this first set of intermediates, the track should remain wet, but for the second set, a consideration for a dry tire may be
Very wide.
a thought. And there is the dry line forming around the track. As the cars go around the circuit, they are going to basically suction off the water from the concrete or the asphalt, the tarmac, and create a dry line. Coming around again to start another lap. So coming around turn 1, you got to see that it is still slippery. However, we do have a little bit better grip than the other cars that we have passed, as we are handily moving up the field here. And obviously we have a lot of wing on the car. If we had a lot of wing in qualification, which was dry, that would have definitely slowed us down. And it may be the reason why we had start in P17. We actually got knocked out in Q1, having the slowest time, but I believe the other cars may have had penalties that had moved them back from changing powertrains in the car whatsoever.
Definitely making time.
Down the main straight, as the water clears the track, we are getting faster and faster. First DRS zone, we are not close enough yet to George Russell in the Mercedes, just ahead of us in P3. You can see 1, 2, and 3.
At the moment, just focus on the driving.
And that is going to be our teammate Kamui in P1. all 3 cars ahead. We are racing, but at least they are in sight. And that is always going to encourage any driver to go faster. So right now, very heavy braking into turn 12. And you can see that we are definitely getting closer and closer. A McLaren and a Mercedes behind us now.
I think you're wrong.
So after heavy braking into turn 1, we were actually very close to George Russell and the Mercedes. However, through the timing line for the DRS, we are not within 1 second, and that's why our DRS is not available after turn 1. Certainly now we are within 1 second of George Russell. So next time around, DRS zone and DRS timing line, we should have it available to us.
Definitely, I have much more wing than anybody else.
Yes, at this point of the race, we are able to go anywhere on the track. And have handy traction. Here we are looking underneath George Russell in the Mercedes. And we're going to be able to take the spot. That is the McLaren just ahead. George Russell still fighting for P3. As we go 2 wide into 13. Here is 14. And we're going to be able to keep P3 for the number 66.
Back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it.
We are going to try to outbrake the McLaren here coming into turn 1. And we do. Moving up to P2. That is our teammate in P1. So DRS not enabled yet, as the track is still considered wet. And that's why it's not available. Again, that is our teammate Kamui Kobayashi in front of us. He was more than 2.5 seconds faster than us in qualifying, and that's how he acquired P1 for the race. But right now, the number 66 has a lot of downforce.
We actually want it to be raining with as much wing as we have. We may not be able to.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Back from Kamui's car, that is the 66 just behind, coming around turn 14, down the main straight. And we'll see if we can demonstrate heavy braking here, and the 66 does. Right on the inside of turn 1, we are going to be able to take P1 from Kamui. So right now, taking advantage of a lot of traction and grip for the number 66. Now with an open track ahead of us, we'll see if we can just drive away. Oh, very wide there. Six and 7, very high curve on the right and the left as we exit out. You'll know to avoid those, as they will throw your car offline.
Right now we are running away.
And before before the end of the lap, after we pass Kamui, we are now 2 seconds ahead. That is how much faster we are with our setup in the rain. And right now we don't...
dry line on the track.
We don't care if it's going to continue to rain. We have a very good car for the conditions. This is Kamui Kobayashi with a McLaren and a Mercedes just behind. The number 66 just disappearing on your screen there.
By 2.7 seconds.
Exiting out of turn 1, we are P1 after only 14 laps. The number 66 Driving Immersion taking advantage of the weather. Having a look around, it looks like the rain has slowed, almost stopping right now. And just barely a touch of tire spray from the water on the tarmac. As we've seen in the last 5 or 6 laps, that the track has been drying.
Weather report.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So lap 14 out of 70. The rain has stopped very early into the race.
Track is definitely drying up.
And our 2-stop strategy here is going to be changing.
Waiting to see if anybody will come in.
The intermediate tires that we have here will last until lap 29, which is our first programmed pit stop. In which case, we can go with a set of the hard tires and finish the race with only a 1 stop. Hopefully that'll keep us ahead of the crowd here. But now the task here is to maintain these tires and get them to last another 15 laps on a drying track. So as we circle around, we are going to be looking at the timing and see if we are still able to drive away from the field. Coming into turn 12. No tire spray now as we exit 13 and come into 14. There's barely any indication that there is water on the tarmac. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps get our channel to other race fans like you.
No spray whatsoever.
So right now the tire temperatures are still within range. However, we do have 16 laps now on this set of intermediates.
Overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy. Come on.
But on a dry track, they are going to wear very fast. Again, we have to get these to lap 28 or 29. We should be able to do 42 laps on a set of the hard tires, which is now our strategy as the rain has stopped. That is the very tight left-hander of turn 13, coming in through 14. Again, holding the throttle until the track straightens out. Burst of ERS down the main straight. Turn 1 very sharp and exiting out to DRS zone. We don't have any cars in front of us, so no DRS for the 66. So on the long shot, you got to see 2, 3, and 4 as they are slowly falling behind. So having a look at the HUD here on the lower right.
So I'm not losing any time yet, and these tires still have a lot of the way to go. Well, at least the front ones do.
The rear tires have
I don't think the
22 and 19.
really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer.
22 and 19% wear. And that is just a little above reasonable. The front tire is doing very well, which means we have a lot of grip. But the rear tires are indicating that we may be accelerating a little bit too hard. Coming into turn 4. 5. Very wide on the apron, and we are in the gravel just momentarily.
I think that one curve was a little high. Gotta watch out for damage to the tray.
So we continue to circle the track here at the Hungaroring. We have done at least 4 laps now of dry track on this set of intermediates, and we are trying to stretch it all the way up to lap 28 or 29. Looks like the other cars are certainly trying to stretch theirs as well. It should look obvious that the track is dry, and a set of dry tires would be a lot faster. But perhaps the gain from dry tires right now does not equate coming in for a pit stop and losing time that way.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Again, this race is 70 laps, and we are only on lap 19, so whatever you put on, it has to last 50 laps, and there are no tire sets that are going to last 50 laps yet without being overly worn.
Weather report. Weather report.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Visually, it doesn't make sense that we are still on the intermediates, except for that we have to stretch them for whatever tires are available for the rest of the race. Very big slide there coming out.
Overtake and burn off some of this energy.
Turn 14 as we power down. There's the field again at the background of your picture. And that is the third time that we've been very wide on the turn 1. So right now we are kind of eager to see what the tire temperatures are on the steering wheel display of the number 66. As it appears, he is starting to struggle with grip.
Behind 4.3 seconds.
On the lower right of the display here, you can see that if we did come in to change out of these tires, we would come out in 6th place. So still seeming doing pretty well on the drying track. These intermediates seem to be just fine. There are some areas where we don't have as much grip as we did when it was wet. But we continue to lap pretty well in front of the field.
So let's just nurse these tires.
Having a look at the steering wheel, you can see this lap we are about 1.5 seconds behind our fastest lap.
As long as no one else is coming in.
Also looking at the timing on the upper left, if everybody else is struggling and staying slow.
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
There's not much need to change out of these tires, just for the purpose of going faster, as we are handily in front.
Alright, let's not worry about the tire. We'll come in at 30, lap 30. no one else is coming in.
At the end of lap 22, our teammate behind by 3.5 seconds.
Everybody's still on intermediates.
And being in the lead, we don't see when the other cars are going to come in and change out of their first set of tires, as it has turned out to be a dry race right now. Perhaps with the forecast, the rain may come back. We're expecting that we would get at least 60% of the race in the wet. So again, we can see the number 66 losing a lot of traction and accelerating out. These intermediate tires are not good for the dry. However, once again, we are trying to stretch them into our pit window so that we can go for a single stop. So there is the first of the pit stops, and that will be our teammate in second place. Looking at the HUD now on the lower right of your screen, we are at 33%, maybe 32% on the left rear, and 28% on the right rear.
See what tires he puts on? Okay, Kamui put on a set of hard tires. The others put on mediums.
So yes, there are the other cars.
Pit this box, or box this lap.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So the other cars are shown in the timing with medium tires, and Kamui, our teammate, with a set of hard tires. So we can now choose.
Whatever tire.
So we can now choose which tires to put on.
Now that Kamui has put on a set of
Okay, the
hard
stewards
tires,
have now enabled DRS.
we should be
DRS
safe
is
and
now
secure.
online.
Unless he starts making up a whole bunch of time.
So this is it. We are entering pit lane, and we are going to put on a set of the hard tires on lap 24 of 70. So we are about 5 laps early on changing out of these tires, but as we've seen in the past few laps, they have been wearing out very quickly.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
So that is Lando Norris in P1. And that is George Russell in the Mercedes in P2. There's another car behind us. That is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc.
Oh, and they're all on mediums.
Very close racing right now as our tires are reaching temperature. Again, the advantage that we have is that we have a lot of downforce on the car. But as you can see, we have lost a lot of time during our very fast pit stop as a result of the other cars being on dry tires prior to us coming in.
These tires are actually not as grippy as the intermediates right now.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
And right now we are able to drive just underneath Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari into turn 1. Entering into a DRS zone, we were not in range as we crossed the timing line, so we didn't have our DRS available to us. Coming into turn 4 and turn 5. So once again, after our first pit stop, we are P2 after the Mercedes and the McLaren up ahead. We lost about 5 or 6 seconds to the other cars as a result of coming in 1 lap later than they did. But our strategy here for the race is now to finish the race with this set of hard tires, and we'll see how far we can get with these right now. There is the Ferrari challenging us through turn 14. He's going to be able to sweep under. He was within time, or the time limit for the DRS, and you can see that his rear wing was open. Diving underneath into turn 1. He comes back around.
Not enough grip in the front.
And he maintains his place ahead of the 66. Turn 6 and turn 7, again very high curbs on that chicane.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
So right now we actually still have very good grip on the car, however our speed is not matching the other cars. As you can see, Charles Leclerc here able to get ahead and stay ahead. And Lando Norris putting in the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:27. Our best so far is a 1:28. And right now, until the end of the race, we are on our hard tires, which are going to be the slowest of all the dry compounds. So it's not likely that we may see a fast lap out of the 66 for the rest of the race. And that is our teammate just behind us. Again, he was quite a ways behind before the pit stop, but because he was on a set of the dry tires before we were, he was able to make up a lot of that time. We remain ahead of Kamui, but you can see that he is definitely within sight now. And as we round turn 14, we did get ahead of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Up ahead, George Russell and Lando Norris in the McLaren. That is 2 seconds that we have to get to. Lando Norris, another fast time, now in the 125s.
Piastri has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Yes, that is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, and we are unable to drop him as he is glued under our rear wing right now.
Trailing the car ahead by 6.7
Why am I going so
seconds.
slow?
So that was Charles Leclerc having a good look at the 66 coming into turn 1. Right now the full wings in the front and rear are creating a lot of drag, and that's probably the reason why we are slow in comparison to the other cars and Charles Leclerc. You can see here that George Russell is now 7 seconds ahead. When we came out of the pits, he was only 2, and then 5, and now 7 seconds. So we are getting dropped by George Russell and Lando Norris. Another hard look by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Coming into turn 1 and turn 2, as indicated by the proximity arrows, he is very close.
0 seconds.
Again, very close coming into turn 14. He's going to have his DRS available to him as we head down the main straight here, and you'll see his rear wing open momentarily. There it is. He does have about 3 to 6 miles per hour of speed above us through the DRS zones.
Can't get away. Just have maybe too much wing.
We very quickly got a pop-up of the status indicator for the systems on the car. Everything seems to be green, nothing even yellow, so there's no damage or wear indicated anywhere on the car. And in fact, our tires are in very good shape coming around turn 14, but we're unable to get away from Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari here. And once again, he's going to have his DRS available as we drive on from the nose cam of his car. Back on board.
Car in front, 10.9 seconds.
Back on board with the 66. We are now 10 seconds as indicated behind George Russell and Lando Norris. It's now lap 34 of 70. Again, this is going to be a one-stop race for the number 66 as we are going to try to finish the race on this set of the hard tires. And the hard tires should be good for about 42 laps until they reach 50% wear. So that should allow us to finish the race on this set of tires. Another fast lap by Lando Norris, and he is on a set of mediums. It's likely that he will have to come in again to change into a different set of tires. So that advantage right now that he's got of 14 seconds will definitely go away when he comes in the pit, as long as the advantage does not get any longer right now. And we are on board Kamui Kobayashi, again the pole setter for the race here at the Hungaroring, and right now he is stuck behind 3, 4, and 5. Wear indicators there for the tires, 3, 2, and 4%. Very good so far. We should be able to finish the race again at this rate.
Okay, gap ahead, 12.9 seconds.
On board with the Ferrari once again, having a look at the 66 at turn 1. DRS should be available to him as we come into turn 2. But we are watching the 66 to see if they're able to stay on the racing line or if they're having trouble driving the car for whatever reason. Because right now the Ferrari is staying with the 66 as the 66 is not able to break away. That is Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. Another fast lap, and I believe he is trying to stretch out his lead so that when he comes in for his set of tires, he will come out ahead of the 66.
The gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Another reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe so that we can reach other race fans like you. Really helps out our channel. Turn 2. So coming through your screen, you're looking at 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is the driving immersion of Mars Medina, number 66, followed by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, and then Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. But with the other driving immersion of Kamui Kobayashi in 6th place. And right now, these 4 cars are handily in front of the rest of the field. Having a look at the cars behind us, we know that we are going to finish the race on the set of tires. The 3 cars behind us are on mediums. Well, actually, Kamui should be on the same strategy as us, with a 1-stop. He did come in 1 lap before we did. So at the end of the race, his tires may be more worn than ours. But right now, the Ferrari and the Mercedes behind us, we do expect them to come in once again to change into a set of tires. Crossing the start-finish line to start lap 39 of 70. It appears the other cars behind us now are being held up by the 66. We are frantically trying to use our ERS to get ahead of the other cars behind us. But they are able to stay with the 66 at this point. We do, however, have very good grip with this set of hard tires. So I think the thing that's slowing us down right now are the high wings. Again, we had looked at the weather before the race, and we set our car up for a wet race, as most of the race was going to be 65 to 70% rain. It turned out only to be 25%. And then we ended up having to stretch our tires up to lap 30, but everybody changed at lap 24, so we changed our intermediate tires, which were becoming very slippery, at only lap 25. So the hard tires that we have going on right now, they will be past 50% worn by the time the race ends. Right now, looking at the
Just
HUD on
making
the
it
lower right.
possible to pass.
Again, the wear rate is very low right now.
So they should be able to come in and get out.
Yes, right now looking at the timing, cars in P1 and P2, the McLaren of Lando Norris and the Mercedes of George Russell, they will be able to come in right now, change onto a new set of tires, and still come out ahead of the number 66 here in third place. They had been steadily going faster and faster as the 66 has steadily been getting slower and slower. Lap 41 now. And they are on a set of medium tires. Very possible that they may actually put on a set of the soft tires and become even faster than they are now. So once again, looking at the timing, the 24 seconds that we were expecting or hoping to save from coming in to change out of tires, the two cars ahead actually made up by going faster on a set of mediums. So again, for this race here at the Hungaroring, another big miscalculation by the Driving Immersion Team. We actually did have two sets of medium tires that were brand new, that were available to drive for the race. Cam of the Ferrari. Let's wait and see if Charles Leclerc is going to become impatient. He's had a couple of chances here now to make a pass on the 66. And most of them have come in through turn 1, as he does have his DRS available on the main straight here. So let's see what he does. Looking at his rear view mirrors, he does have the rear wing open. You can see the speed difference here. But for Charles Leclerc, not enough this time around. And right now, this is the other DRS zone, but it's just not very long. So you would have to have your exit out of turn 1 set up in order to make a pass from 1 to 2. That's George Russell. I believe he will come out just ahead of us by maybe a couple of seconds as we come around the pit lane. That is pit entry to the right. And right now, as we accelerate out of 14, he should be exiting.
18.3
There he
seconds.
is. Just as we calculated, but right now, he will have a set of cold or cooler tires. And for some reason, he put on a set of the hard tires. I believe he could have gone with a set of mediums unless he didn't have a set to spare. There are a lot of times when a team would rather go with a slower tire as long as it's brand new rather than a faster tire that has a few laps on it. And I think that may be the decision of the Ferrari team here. I'm sorry, the Mercedes team. A very fortuitous drive by the number 66 is going to put him around George Russell in the Mercedes. Coming around turn 14. Here are some back markers coming out of the pits. Again, for their third set of tires, I'm sorry. And right now it may seem like the Driving Immersion Team are the only two cars that have gone for a single stop.
We need to catch up with the car ahead. Gap is currently around 5 seconds.
Passing one of the Williams' back marker. We still have George Russell just underneath our wing.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.8 seconds.
Again, looking back from the T-cam of the 66, we do have an advantage in the curvy, slower parts, as we do have a lot of downforce. However, that becomes a disadvantage on the faster straight sides of the track. And that is one of the reasons why George Russell in the Mercedes is able to stay with us. Having a very good look here through turn 8 and turn 9. Still have our teammate in tow.
We're catching the car ahead. Well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this
We're
race.
falling back.
And within the last couple of laps, it looks like Charles Leclerc did come in to change out of his tires as our teammate has gotten around him. from the back of the Driving Immersion number 66, keeping an eye on George Russell.
Another fast lap for Lando.
Yes, another fast lap for Lando as his car becomes lighter. Again, on a newer set of tires. This is his third set. The 66 we are driving along with here, keeping an eye on the Mercedes of George Russell. We are only on our second set, and we do plan to finish the race on this set. To the right from George Russell's T-cam. Very wide entry there for the number 66, but the secret is to go straight as soon as you reach the apex. So the apex is very late.
Yeah, if you could just stop putting in fast laps.
Turn 13.
Oh, Russell is up.
Yes, had a very good fast look behind us, and we saw George Russell with a lot of steam to come around, and we had to block off the lane. Once again, looking at the timing between Mars Medina and Lando Norris, you can see here that Lando has been slowly increasing the distance or the time. His team did time their pit stop very advantageously for them, so he did come out ahead of the 66. On board with George Russell just behind the number 66. Coming in through the chicane at 6 and 7. At the start of lap 51, we come around turn 1. The number 66 of Mars Medina Driving Immersion is currently still in second place. Having a look at the timing, it looks like Lando Norris is simply driving away, as Lando Norris and George Russell just behind us are on a two-stop strategy for the 70-lap race here at the Hungaroring in Hungary. turns 13 and 14 here as we come around. Once again with the Driving Immersion number 66 in second place. Very close now for George Russell with DRS available to him under the wing of the 66. But not enough this time around through turn 1. He will have DRS again available to him as we exit, and you can see that his rear wing is open. Very close into turn 2. As the race wears on, you can see that he's definitely got a speed advantage, lapping the circuit now. And right now at the wheel of the 66, we are using our ERS at every exit of the turn just to stay ahead. You can see here in the cameras that we do have a set of the hard tires as opposed to the medium tires that George Russell has on. However, our wear on these tires is actually very good right now. We did put them on lap 25 as we come in to start lap 53.
17 laps.
And that is 17 laps to go till the end of the race. Looking at the wear indicator, 9 and 5% for the front, 12 and 10 for the rear. Still very good. On lap 53 for the number 66. Back on board with George Russell. That is turn 5. As we enter turn 6 here. Turn 7 to the left. Now we are getting the blue light on the light boxes. However, we are not approaching a back marker at this point. So that may just be a mistake. Lando Norris, another fast lap. Now a 120. He is 11.5 seconds ahead of the 66. Again, as we come in to start lap 24, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us reach other race fans like you, with George Russell coming under again. Having a good look on turn 1. Definitely within range of passing the 66. Very good look here into turn 2. Just not enough right now. It's very likely as we approach the end of the race that he may have more grip with his medium tires. There's no doubt at this point that he is faster than the 66 right now. Coming in through 13, you can see with the proximity arrow there that he is still within range. Lando Norris with a 119 now. Still going faster with his set of mediums. So a very brief look there at our HUD. On the lower right, the powertrain indicator was actually red and it did pop up. So right now we are experiencing a failing car. No indicator yet, but right now it's undrivable. There we are. We are retired from the race with a mechanical failure. At this point, there's nothing we can do to regain the race. The only option that we have is to retire, and you can see here that the number 66 let out a lot of smoke. So the powertrain dead now for the 66, and for the second time of the season, we are unable to finish a race. Coming out of 6 and 7, there we are. Big plume of smoke. Mars Medina dejected, coming in through the pits now, and retiring here at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So again, once you retire or are forced to retire, the rest of the race is simulated, and we immediately go to the finish. As we see here, it looks like George Russell did get around Lando Norris as he wins the race here in Hungary. There is Charles Leclerc. For some reason, Lando Norris may not have finished the race. You can see there that he is not on the podium. That is Oscar Piastri, his teammate, in third place. So without being able to see the end of the race, we are unable to see that Lando Norris actually retired from the race here as well. And that is going to end it here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thanks again for watching the race here at Driving Immersion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.